everyone. It's good to have you here with me today. If this is your first time of stopping by, you're welcome. I'm inviting you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I make new videos. Today I'm going to be talking about how to handle disappointment. Disappointment is a word that we all are familiar with because at some point in time we have experienced it. You know, that feeling of being let down and frustrated. You know, disappointment is when an expectation is not met or when situations do not happen the way we have planned. And so these situations can be in form of lack of promotion, you know, lack of progress in one endeavor or the other, lack of job, and so on and so forth. So disappointments can occur in different spheres of life. It can occur when someone has actually struggled to build a business and the business all of a sudden crumbles. That can be so devastating for some persons. So when this whole life situation occur, it can cause a lot of sadness within the individual. Now, let me tell you a story of a man who was planning to relocate to another country. So he sold his properties and all he had in order to procure all the needed documents and everything to embark on this journey. So he employed the services of an agent, and even his best friend was involved in the whole deal. At the end, he realized he was duped. Wow, he couldn't stand it. He was so shocked. He was so saddened. In fact, he felt so hopeless. Where is he going to start all over again? Because he had sold his house. So he couldn't take it. At some point, he sat down and was recalling everything that played out in the whole process of the journey to getting the documents and everything. And what he decided was just to end his life. To him, where will he start from? You know? And so this man committed suicide. You can imagine these are things that happen really for a lot of people. They can get the kind of shock that they can't even stand it. And they think ending their life is the only way out. In fact, there was this incident that I witnessed when I was serving during my National Youth Service Corps. I was asleep one night and I heard a loud scream. And so I got up and opened my door, went out. Every other person came out from their rooms. Lo and behold, it was a young girl that was screaming of pain. What happened? She took poison in order to kill herself. This was a young undergraduate student. She wanted to kill herself because she was being jilted by her boyfriend. Her boyfriend called her up and ended the relationship with her, and that was enough for her to die. Can you imagine that? You know, she couldn't take it. Before sleeping, she drank the poison. She didn't know she would wake up alive. In fact, she thought she was going to die in the process. But fortunately for her, she woke up with terrible pains, and so we had to rush her to the hospital. And now just imagine the parents of this girl who did everything to get her into the university. And she would just end her life just like that. How would it have been for the parents? It would have been so devastating. I mean, what kind of children are we raising now? Children that are so emotionally unstable, who cannot handle life situations just because you have a breakup, you just commit suicide just like that? Is he the guy in question? Is he the only man in the world? I mean, you know, these are things that are happening today. When people find themselves in situations and they become disappointed, they just can't handle it. They find it very difficult to handle all of life situation, and it begins to spiral out of control, and it can go on and on. Some are plunged into depression, And they begin to have anxiety disorders, all because they are going through one life situation or another. So we should understand that these are real things that happen to people. People can, get so devastated over one situation or the other. Now, imagine a woman probably who caught her husband cheating on her. There have been situations where such women either kill the man in the process because they were so shocked and angry, or they just end the marriage like that because they are unable to process all of these things happening to them in their life. And so we begin to see that a lot of things begin to ensue in the life of the person that is undergoing these life stresses. We should be made to understand that there are things that are not under our control. That is it. There are situations that you cannot control, you cannot determine the outcome. And because of that, you need to understand that no matter the situation around you, you as a person, you need to take care of yourself. And I keep saying it even in my previous videos when I talk about having your inner power strengthened. You need to strengthen yourself. You need to be resilient. You don't allow life situations to determine how you feel or what happens to you. Whatever happens around you, you have a decision to make. You have a choice. It's in your hands to decide how you will be, how you will feel, what you will say, and your actions and all your activities at that very point in time. Okay? So having to fall down, break down, and you become a total wreck, I mean, it's really uncalled for. Why? Because God has endowed you with the strength and the power to be able to stand no matter what happens around you. We all have that capacity. It's just that we are unable to look within. Within us is the power to withstand even the most difficult of all situations. There's this saying that says, tough times never last, but tough people do. Okay, so sometimes we need to be tough. We need to build our inner strength. We need to build our inner capacity, because we all have the choice to choose how we respond to whatever situation that comes around us. Because you just can't determine what happens next. You have a goal and you have set your targets, and you have worked so hard towards actualizing that goal. But there are some situations that you just don't have control over. And when it happens the other way around, what happens? Will you fall apart? Will you lose control? Will you opt out for suicide as painted in the scenarios that I gave earlier? I mean, we need to know that situations that are not in our control, what do you do? Your response matters. Your response to such situations matters. Because a lot of the time, we'll be faced with all these things. And what do? You can't fall apart. You need to build your inner strength. We all have expectations, but a lot of the times, these expectations will not happen in the way we planned it. You make a plan and you reason in your head, it's going to be like this. At so time this will happen. At other time this will happen. You set deadlines. But what if it doesn't happen the way you planned? And that is what happens. You become disappointed. Now, there are ways we can develop ourselves and become so strong, such that no matter the situations, no matter the failures, we will be able to stand strong. We need to build ourselves and become tough. Now, one of the things that we can do is that we should be open to the fact that our desires will manifest in many different ways and not necessarily in the way that you have planned it. Know that when you have a plan, It must not happen in one particular way. Be open to the fact that the result will come in different ways. And with that in your mind, you should be able to know that if it does not happen in this way, it can happen in this other way. And then, secondly, we should be patient. As we walk through the process of achieving our dreams and our goals and our targets, you should be patient enough to wait, because there's a time and season for everything. You should be able to trust God's timing for your life, that though it tarries, but surely it will come to pass. So you have to go through the waiting process. And in the process of going through that waiting process, how is your state of mind? Are you falling apart? Are you becoming so devastated? Are you becoming so anxious? Are you going into depression because what you want has not happened? So, I encourage you today, be patient. Be very patient, because it will surely come to pass. Another tip I want to give you is, try and detach yourself from the outcome. You are expecting A to happen, and it has not happened. You get yourself so wrapped up. If it doesn't happen, this thing is do or die. If it doesn't happen like this, it must happen. But what if it doesn't happen? Will you kill yourself? Will you end your life? Just like the two stories I talked about earlier. You should learn how to separate yourself, how to give yourself some space, detach from the outcome and let go. Let go. Set the goals, set the targets, and let go. Free your mind and walk through the journey, because it's going to be a process. Try and walk through the journey of waiting for it to happen, because it will happen. Not necessarily the way you planned it, not necessarily in your own particular way, but in many different ways it can unfold. And when you set your mind free, and you free up, release the tension and everything, you will be able to have that sensitivity towards when it eventually unfolds. Stay positive. Try to have positive affirmations. Take away all forms of negativity and negative thinking. Try to be optimistic. Be optimistic that it will surely happen. Because it is when you begin to become pessimistic and all the negative emotion floods in. Will it happen? Are you sure? What if I'm rejected? What if this happens? You begin to get so worried and worked up. And in the process, your state of mind is distorted. You become anxious. And let me tell you, you're about to make a lot of mistakes in that process. So by the time you keep your mind free, you try and stay positive. No matter what, just be positive that it is going to definitely happen. But you don't know when it will happen. You don't know how it's going to happen. But you are sure inside of you that it will happen. That way you are detached. You are enjoying the process, the waiting process. No matter that thing is that you are waiting for. Probably you are waiting on that day you get married. You have had several disappointments, several broken relationships. You are just telling yourself, when will it happen? Detach. Just detach from it all. Stop thinking. Stop working yourself up towards when it will happen. Stop working yourself up towards how it's going to happen. And just have faith and trust God that it will definitely happen, no matter how long it takes. Okay? So that way, in the journey, you are enjoying the journey. You are singing, you're celebrating, you are happy. Your inner state is fortified. You are stable, you are in control. That way, you will not get all those negative emotions. Because with negative emotions comes hopelessness. There are people who have given up on their dreams. There are people who have given up on their aspirations just because of one or two disappointments. What if that thing that you are pursuing isn't really the right one for you? Yes, there's this story of a man who, after graduation, he was very intelligent. So he put in applications to different companies for jobs. For 5 years, he has written close to like 50 applications, job applications, but he never got what he wanted. So he sat down one day, I was thinking about his life, and said, well, I have tried. What will I do? I can't kill myself. I'll keep trying. And so a thought came to him one of those days while he was just thinking. And the thought that came to him was for him to start up a microfinance business, because this man was an accountant. And so he started very small. He got all the knowledge, took a certificate course in that regard, and he started. And today, this man is the CEO of one renowned microfinance bank. So he discovered that for 5 years, he wasted his time pursuing a dream, pursuing something that was never meant to be his, until he got inspired to follow the right path. Have you considered that you might even be on the wrong path? Probably are looking for a particular thing. You have had several disappointments. What if that thing that you are looking for is not the right thing for you? Have you considered that? What if the path you are is the wrong path? Have you considered that? What if the relationships that you have been keeping aren't the right relationship for you? Have you considered that as well? So keep an open mind. And if you have tried severally on something, maybe one day, if your mind is opened, you can get that inspiration that you need that will change your life. So keep an open mind, stay positive, and connect with your inner being. By the time you begin to connect with your inner self, something miraculous can happen. You can begin to get inspired. You can begin to get transformed, and everything can begin to change all in one day. And I tell you, try it. It works. It will surely work. So, my friends, I encourage you to keep an open mind, detach from all the things you are holding on to. Stay positive. Know that whatever your expectations are, it can unfold in many different ways. And believe me, though it tarries, it will surely come to pass. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I'm so happy that you joined me till the end. And I encourage those of you that have not subscribed to please subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing you more of this type of videos. Until I see you in my next video, stay in peace. Thank you.